Good morning, Facebook family, and everybody out there. I was just sitting around thinking about all the people with the mindset that things aren't going to fall into place for them, and how they can get into a dormant stage in their life where they just stop pressing and performing and trying to get to those goals they had as a youngster. And, you know, I'm a full believer in whatever you put your mind to, it'll come to pass. And I was convinced of that when I moved out of New Orleans after Katrina and came out to Northern Virginia. And I really internally challenged myself subconsciously after I saw how the rat race actually was shaping up once I got out here. Because coming from New Orleans and the worst, educational system set up for African Americans, and then coming out here with, with my three kids as a widower, and all I knew was just to work and survive, and not really think about, too much about financial credit scores and, and other things that really mean things as you get older. But I realized once I got put in a different environment, my wants and, and thoughts changed. And I was sitting here just thinking, how would I have been if God wouldn't allow Katrina to happen and for me to move out of a comfortable space, place that wasn't really doing me no benefit. To me, it just would have been a wasted life now that I look back on it. And I thank God that He showed me through different events and circumstances that everything I needed to succeed the whole time was locked up inside of me. It just was dormant and had to be purged out. And I might have not liked it how it started. I might have not liked how it started, but I'm sure liking how it's it's winding up in my favor right about now. You know, I thank God that He showed me that I am worth everything that I've strived and and gathered so far in my life. I just had my third grandchild. My daughter just bared my grandchild Raya. She also gave me Rashawn and Raina. So I'm very proud grandpappy. I'm the pappy, and so I'm proud of that. And and along the way, I might have wasn't the best parent in the world as I started out having kids. With my first marriage. But this was, I think, God just allowed me just to hang around long enough to really, you know, turn back the clock, and so to speak, and to actually, make up for all the lost time that I didn't spend and all the things that I didn't do with my older kids. So I thank God for my daughter. She's doing her thing in Atlanta. And I'm also very proud of my son, Richmond Jr. He's in the Air Force. He's out there in Vegas. And there were so many times in my life where I thought things were just gonna stay the same. Never thought I'd get married. Never thought I'd meet the woman of my dreams. I didn't even know what to look for in a woman. I was just so in a fog. You know, Orleans was a place. And you pick up bad habits and you just don't even know you got them until they keep following you around. You keep making the same mistakes. You know. But all I knew, like I said earlier, was just to grind and work, and I worked my butt off to a point where I looked up at the end of it and say, "Man, all this work, and what have I accomplished?" And I realized, the whole time I was working and not really, thinking about it, I acquired, worked on, trying to be a better dad. I think I did that. I also have can't leave out my Duchess. I've also raised my youngest daughter, Brittany. I adopted her at 6 years old after Katrina. She's been with me now. She's 20 years old. She's from my first marriage. Has a different father. I love her. It's my Duchess. She's I knew what it meant to not have a father figure in your life. So I made it. My test. I made it a life's mission to make sure she always feels secure and have a dad. Somebody she can call dad, even if her biological dad's nowhere around. So I'm, you know, love her like I bared to myself. Now she's going on 21 in a couple of months. From 6 years old to 21, it's been a ride. But I love her. So she brings a lot to our family, and I love her. She's very very special, in my heart. And then she still living upstairs with me today, paying her pennies a month for rent. Got to start somewhere. And anyway, I thank the Lord for having matured me to a point where some things I thought I'd never get over. I thought I'd never get over betrayal. I'd never get over people making fun of me when I was, doing my thing, and you know, people thought they could take advantage of you when you're vulnerable. When they see a weak, a weak animal like in nature, they'll do whatever they gotta do to get over on you. So I thank God that He allowed me to have the last laugh. Like I said, I acquired a lot of stuff coming out here. Just by working, and acquired, made me a better dad. Better brother with my siblings and my sisters out here. We've got two sisters out here right now. So I'm the big brother. I wasn't too much of a big brother earlier, but I'm a big brother now. We spend a whole lot of time together. We have a strong relationship. I have a strong relationship with both of my sisters that are out here. I have an older sister. She lives, out back in New Orleans. But I thank God that He allowed me to see where hard work brings me. I came out here with a backpack and my personal papers for my children as a widower, and got them all into school. They out of school. They go and do their thing, and I wound up hanging around. Say, this seemed like a nice environment. Even though it's one of the richest counties in America. I didn't know that till about 8, 9 years in. People was asking me, man, where you at? Yeah, I'm out here. I said, where you stay? I stay in such and such a county, and they was like, that's one of the richest counties in America. I said, well, I didn't know that, but it just seemed so comfortable to remain in, and God allowed me to keep up with the cost of living out here, and I can say I'm a homeowner. You know, I'm married. I'm a deacon of a church. You know, been a deacon going on 8, 9 years. First Baptist Church of Sterling. You know, love that church. You know, I'm the maintenance guy in the church. You know, I kind of like inherited that position. You know, it's a labor of love. You know, so. But I just want to tell all the people that they're sitting up there thinking that life's a mess. I can't put it back together. Don't give up. Don't give in. My life's changed when I was 44, 43, 44, something like that. So you never know when God's going to change it around for you. All you women that are looking for husbands, you know, I just all I can say is just remain defiant and keep yourself up. Guys do be looking. I know some single guys, they do be looking, you know, and whoever God has for you is for you. And at the appropriate time, God will send that right person to you. Same thing for a job, just, stay visible, stay plugged in, network, and, just stay on your grind. I just feel like I had to just, you know, plug this little word in, early this morning, let y'all know, life is good. Don't get too high or too low, and think you got it. 'Cause at any given moment, it can be snatched away from you. So, y'all stay blessed. Be blessed.